What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 18 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Imrik Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Teclis sort of redeemed himself, taking on Kairos in a duel both aerial and magical, and coming out ahead. He's also gotten considerably stronger as he's managed to level up to level 25 by using that lovely experience gain from the Prophet buff. It's good, but it'll get better over time as we get even nastier abilities for him and try to get towards manifold sorcery. Otherwise, we've begun to recruit the White Lion army here for Theoden, and while it'll take a few turns, it'll be on the field relatively soon and ready probably for action either against Khorne or the Skaven, or there's a new threat of more Skaven coming southward. Unfortunately, Karakadrin has begun to fall. The Empire has pretty much been destroyed. Sylvania is, I believe, the third strongest faction on the map, which is pretty interesting, and frankly, I'm a little bit glad to see it. I love them as I do. I think there's a bit of a screw-up with the Karakadrin, or rather just even the idea that the AI can declare war on the servants of the Conclave, because Karakadrin has spent 80 turns or so, or 70 turns, I don't know how long it's been, just attacking, sending armies at Naggarond, and just constantly losing them non-stop for no reason. Yeah, maybe by giving them these territories, it kind of put them in a conflict with these guys and kind of screwed them over, which is kind of funny if you think about it. If the source of their downfall was an alliance with Elves, maybe Thorgrim was right all along. But anyway, Throt is now close enough to Mount Gunbad that we will probably have to send an army up there to deal with him, so we'll have to consider it. But anyway, let's get started, shall we? Imrik, you are going to start moving northward towards Ruinous. It's basically a new turn, so we got a lot of stuff to do. Up north you go. And if Thorgrim stays here... If Thorgrim stays here, we might actually kill him, depending on how this works out. We'll see. We want to head towards Caracade Peaks. I don't know whether we can reach it in a single turn, but I guess we'll find out in a little bit. Theoden, you are going to head towards Caradron, as we will be attacking Caledor Dragon Tamer relatively shortly. Or Dragon Slayer, rather. Got too used to... I mean, Caledor Dragon Slayer, Caledor Dragon Tamer, come on. Dewi and Delgi names are suspiciously similar. You... Fern Harvest are headed toward Black Iron Mine. I'm really hopeful that you can reach it. Yeah, you should be able to reach it. Good. I don't know whether we'll attack them next turn, but it'll be shortly. And, ooh, yes, Erathond. You want to go after Mr. Vigo here. Alright, so the way that we'll do this is this. First, we'll head to this... Yeah, we should be able to reach both. First, we'll head towards this mysterious island like so. And hopefully power ourselves up a little bit. Aggression. Giving us Mathland's Blessing, very nice, 25% physical resistance, that should enable us to attack Naggarond. Then, we will join the war against the Decadent Host by asking the Exiles of Nehek for I was about to say for money, but we could do a defensive alliance instead, get those Necro units for our Zombie Dragon, yes, or Black Dragon, whatever it's calling itself. And you should be able to auto-resolve the remnants of this. Let's actually level you up just to power you up a little bit. You are going to want... There's Speed of Assyrian. We do want another point in Elven Scholar. I guess let's finish up Elven Scholar. Let's get you Blade Master as well. And then we'll go through Speed of Assyrian as well. Yeah, alright. Not that Erathon is going to need it against a minor little army like that. You Gondil. Now, we do want Favored by Isha, but honestly, Favored by Kane isn't too bad either. 25% weapon strength versus income from post-battle loot, eh? Honestly, it's hard to say which is the better. On the one hand, this makes you fairly significantly... Well, it makes you hit harder. I'm not going to say it's a crazy amount, but when with Woundmaker up, you should be hitting for like 700 or so. You know, I'm going to wait on that for now. Let's get you Word of Hoeth, and then we'll move through Blade Shield. The fact is, nobles are a defensive type hero, at least with a lot of melee defense bonus stats, meaning we could counteract Favored by Cain quite a bit. It's just that 10% extra income from every single battle is still quite nice, even this late into the game. Next up, Melandai. We want you to move towards Transformation of Kadon, which with the level 2 is relatively cheap and will allow us to summon additional eagles. I'm almost tempted to get a second Beast Mage in this army, and just to summon even more eagles on the field. Can't say no to more eagles. Anyway, looks good. Then you are going to move in to attack Mr. Vigo. With a quick little auto-resolve, let's hope that it doesn't hurt the eagles. There's no way to know. Alright, no, the eagles are fine. Lost some silver and guard, but we can deal. And I guess once again, take the money. We are in our own territory after all. Yeah, well, we won't heal to full, but it's not so bad. And I guess you should be able to reach Naggarond. I'm not going to put you into March stance because I don't think we should risk it, so start moving this way. Alright, looks good. Looks good. Let's get to you, Gonda, leveling up again, and I guess now into Blade Shield. And then you, Melandai. We could get you magical reserves, we could get you earthing for overcasting. You will be casting Vincent's wild form repeatedly. I'm inclined to actually say buff up Flock of Doom because of the cooldown and the ability to overcast it. Yeah, let's do that. And the rest of that looks good to me. Another Cloak of Beards. I'm not sure how you managed to get that one out of fighting the little Chaos army, but, well, I suppose there were Chaos Dwarfs among them. Bel Herathoi. Now, you had the issue of Ratto Gorge being 2 turns away from the upgrade, so I think what we'll try to do with you is push you southward towards Temple of Cain, wait until this levels up to tier 4, and then take it at tier 3 rather than a tier 2. And just seems like a more worthwhile investment, in my opinion. Anyway, at least this way, hopefully nobody will take Ratto Gorge. You are still going through Quartermaster and Elven healing, even though, once again, the blue line is kind of awful for these guys. Let's get to you. Let's see. Oh, you don't have Dwellers Below? Okay, I get Dwellers Below. Yeah, get Dwellers Below. You're gonna need it. Ooh, the noble here has either replenish troops or one of these knowledge of affairs things. I think we're gonna go with lizardmen this time, simply because, well, there's a lot of lizards nearby now that we want to maintain relatively friendly relations with, in particular Krokgar and Tic-Tac-Toe. Mazda, I fear, will attack us, so not much we could do about that. You can then, I guess, get Foe Seeker, and then we'll max out replenish troops afterwards. Alright, and who's up next? Tilnai. You were supposed to attack Caledor Dragon Slayer, but unfortunately we have this little orc army here by Spite da Crusha, and... Wait, can we ambush? Looks like we can. Alright, so go here like this. Once we deal with this army, we'll push back towards Akendorf. Also, we'll probably need to keep leveling this Handmaiden, but it's going to take a while, but nonetheless, get replenished troops as maxed out as you possibly can. I do like the diplomatic relations with all factions, but it's hawkish precision, and that we're gonna need in this particular army. We need more Handmaiden capacity. They're gonna be quite nice for all the ranged armies, since they can buff them fairly significantly. You are gonna get final transmutation, though I do like transmutation of lead and SFO as well. And Princess, you have Elven Scholar and Quartermaster maxed out. Let's get to you... Cavalry Master, and then we'll move through Bowmaster as well, but I do want the buffs for the Illyrian Reavers. Especially as it's the only army that will be using them. Actually, speaking of the Illyrian Reavers, how close are we? Well, we're getting closer. Yeah, alright, we'll get there in time. Now, Teclis. We're going to head towards Fate Weaver's Crevasse. We can... Can we risk March Dancing? Well, it looks like we can actually reach it in one bound. We'll take attrition if we do this. But it's probably better to move now and take attrition. I go then. And prevent these guys from recovering an army. In fact, we can make this a little easier on ourselves by taking Astakar here. And... Oh, wait. Maybe you can't reach this? Let me just see here. If you head out to sea... Hey. Oh, okay, we need to actually head out to sea. Moving out. Okay, now we can reach this. Alright, so hopefully... We land here, and then we go in to help Teclis with these extra units, because his army is going to be heavily attritioned up. Also, these guys might potentially attack you, depending on how many, or ambush you, depending on how many troops, but frankly, that might actually work out decently well for us, because it'll just make Teclis's job of taking the crevasse a little bit easier. And I believe that that's it for this turn. I guess there wasn't actually much to do in terms of anything but moving around. Now to double-check Diplo. Visenland and Null. Maybe it's time to get a defensive alliance with them. They are dying, but it might be nice to A, get vision with them, see how our enemies in the Empire are doing. And just how much of a shambles the Empire is. It looks like they have a few holdout provinces, and that's about it. The other thing is they are friendly with Talzin, and getting more friendly with them might get us even friendlier with Talzin and potentially Arguelon. And man, we are at war with a lot of factions. Hopefully I'm not biting off more than we can chew, but the lines are being drawn, the shield of civilization has fallen, and we got to complete what we're doing elsewhere before these guys make too much of a, become too much of a threat, like Throt is quickly becoming. So, defensive alliance, we will join your war against... Probably Warheart of the Shadowgave are going to be their least threatening. And, oh, that'll do it. Nice. Let's see. Is there anybody else that we really want to declare war on? I'm just thinking in terms of being friendly with Talzin, but I don't think so. We'll need to, well, actually get sight of Arguelon, which we don't have right now, but this might give it to us, so... Let's do that. We'll take their tiny amount of money. Like so.
I trust your material.
Alright, and they're willing to go almost into military alliance, and oh, Elspeth owns Altdorf. Makes sense. I mean, we had Altdorf in our own Elspeth campaign here, and oh, damn. Archie, you're running around up here. Damn, that's too many armies. I think Altdorf will fall. She is lost Nuln by the looks of it. Alright, Arguelon, we can talk to you. Let's go non-aggression pact immediately. And he's at war with Sylvania. Interesting, interesting. Alright, anybody else that gave us vision of that's willing to be friendly? Lorelorn's up here and still holding out, though I'm not a particularly big fan of Ellendelling. What do we have here? Talzin, Arguelon, we won't get any further alliance out of right now, and that looks like that's it. And we won't ally with Dreadfleet. Mostly because it'll piss off all the other elves, and they're going to be pissy enough once we get another confederation going, since the massive reduction in relationships with them. But oh well. Unassigned skill points, building upgrades, outposts... which outpost is this? Ivres. I mean, we could do it just for the purpose of A, powering them up a little bit, and B... It's only 2,000 gold at the end of the day. It's a little bit of free influence. Yeah, sure, go for it. It'll also help defend Elisali a little bit against the enemies. And oh, actually, their capital is another outpost. It's more influence, since the influencers have failed us completely. And another outpost available. Okay, I need to. Okay, this one actually might not be so worth it, because by the looks of it, Ubersreich will fall next turn, and yeah, that's not gonna help. That's not gonna help. Who else don't we have an outpost with? Oh, that's the last one. Of course it was. Of course it was. We'll see if they survive, and then we'll build it if they do. Karakadrin has a mission for us. Kill Count Noctilus. That's not gonna happen. Alright, ignore that. Outpost available, and assuming we don't pop a right... We do have the Greater Invocation of Vol, but I think we want to save up money. I want to get the 2 extra special dragons on field now. So let's save the money for that. End turn. Alright, while the turn is ending, once again we did make the engagement threshold, so this will be an hour-long-ish episode, and the engagement threshold does still stand. 350 likes and 50 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. Alright, all should pity you... For you haven't cited the fear of the dragons, great. I assume Ulthuan would prefer to exist in peace. Do you? Do you assume that? No, Noctilus, that's not gonna happen. Although I do love you, man. We'll get you a campaign at some point. Spite the Crusher is going to attack with, frankly, kind of a weak army. We're going to not bother with this. The Lothran Seaguard, I mean, these are regular boar boys. They're not even boar boy biggins. And Goblin Wolf Raiders, tier 1 troops, We got bigger fish to fry. Ransom the captives for the cash, though. we'll need to fund our new dragons, which are going to send our finances into a bigger tailspin. And that's it for the attacks. Alright. Ally begins outpost construction. I see Thorgrim is still here. Rite of Sotek performed for Hexoatl. Pestilence Scheme performed for Clan Moors. Clan Scryer, Clan Molder, Court of Libaros, and Ally begins construction out. Exiles of the Heck. Great for Ally. Starwood Staff, Minstrel, Food Taster on Arwenil. No, we're going to give that to one of the heroes. Bard of the Thilmar Steed for Arwenil. Great. Ambusher discovered. Settlement transferred. The Lost Palace. Oh, we just took that. Well, I suppose out of all the settlements... Damn it, we were just going to trade that to Tic-Tac-Toe. Frickin' bloody Kairos. Although, to be fair, out of all the settlements, that was the least annoying one they could have possibly transferred, but... It's still so annoying. Wait, these guys are still alive? The Flaming Scribes? Wait, let me just see here. Ready for duty, technology researched, growth plus 20, and that's another reason we really need the cash. You guys have 2 settlements. Oh, they're still alive here, at the Demon's Gate. They haven't confederated. That's interesting. I guess they've been holding off I forget the name of Oxyodal's faction. I don't think we can see him. Yeah, no. But anyway. That's fine. Teclis, towards Fate Weaver's Crevasse, please. And Astakar moving to help. Damn, the attrition hit us hard there. And Valiant Defeat, we'll see about that. Teclis has managed before. You, I think, have no choice but to move in March Stance and then take another turn of attrition, but hopefully we can deal. And Teclis... Pyrrhic victory, we will lose half our army unless we fight this manually. Now, question. Oh, you don't have a defensive structure. Well, that's lovely. Meaning we can fight this in a cinematic. Okay, good. We'll do that in a bit. I want to see if there's anything interesting with anybody else. Specifically, what I wanted to see was... Ooh. Okay, yeah, we got something interesting. Valkia is right beside Naggarond. We should be able to declare war on her. Yes, more war declarations. And force the garrison of Naggarond at the same time. Is this a bad idea? Should we take on Valkia's main stack and the elite defenders of Naggarond with just the Eagle army? I don't think they're just Eagles. I think they've earned the right. Alright, let's do this. Valkia, you are currently at war with also the Exiles of Nahek, so I guess we'll do this. Join war against Legion of the Gore Queen. I won't be able to go into military alliance, unfortunately, but that's alright. Actually, wait, you know what? The Monoliths and Hotek's Column. Let's see. Hotek's Column is worth way too much. The Monoliths is worth way too much. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Declare war on Valkia. We're probably not going to get a better chance to obliterate her stack. And we don't want her moving around in these territories, let's face it. Damn, why does Harganeth hate us so much? Oh, they don't? They're also allied with all the Chaos factions. This really should not be the case. Ain't no way. Hellebron? Ain't no way. Alright, well, whatever. This should be a pretty darn epic fight. You can move into Noble Prestige.
For the king!
Alright, Pyrrhic victory. We got a stack. We got Valkia herself leading. Of course, she has that darn Blade of Corn, which is going to be very threatening to possibly instantly obliterate one of our Eagle Claws. We have the relatively elite garrison and a full stack of a garrison, mind you, out of Naggarond. Gonna be a great fight. Go.
To battle!
Alrighty, here we go. The Eagles fly forward, and with the Eagle Claw bolts firing above, we'll split ourselves up, and then we'll hit Valkia, as well as the rest of her forces. Also summoning an additional unit of Eagles via that Kadan's, or transformation of Kadan, and the choke point should work out fairly well to our advantage as well. We're going to prevent the enemy from moving through the choke point by landing the Eagles upon the dog goes, and hopefully holding back any enemy from moving towards our Eagle Claws while our Silverin Guard advance and get ready to hold the choke. In the meantime, Arathond has found Valkia, and we're going to do what we usually do when we assassinate lords and heroes with this army, and just swarm her with eagles. This should be relatively effective. She's only level 12. And she's down to half HP already. Beautiful. She's going to activate her Demon Shield, but too little too late as her HP plummets, and so does her leadership. In the meantime, down below, the Eagles continue annoying the enemy, while the Eagle Claws continue raining bolts down from above. Fortunately, the split shot doesn't appear to be particularly damaging to Eagles, so we're safe to use it and continue fighting in melee as well. And it looks like Valkia is getting the heck out of there. We will give chase with at least a few units, but probably peel Arathond away to start working on a few of the more dangerous foes, like the Chaos Spawn and the Trolls, which are interspersed among the lines of Marauders and Warhounds. And there we go. The choke point is still ours. We're actually going to keep the Silverin Guard back and watching while the Eagles take care of most of the work, simply because our own Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers would otherwise destroy the Silverin Guard in the same manner that they're doing the enemy Marauders and Forsaken. Plus, the Chaos Spawn of Khorne and regular Chaos Spawn need work on them as well, and it's better to have the Eagles, which are not liable to take damage to the splash explosion of the Chaos Spawn, as compared to the Silverin Guard. Arathond is hunting down a spawn himself, and I'm sure it'll drop before him relatively quick. They're both down to about half HP, while the enemy reinforcements have moved on to the field. We can see one of our Eagle units is damaged, but this is just the summoned unit of Eagles, which has managed to deal 128 deal 18k, nearly 19k damage, and get 128 kills going. Very, very solid for a summoned unit, and for the mana cost, that transformation of Kadam actually worked out real well. Seems to be a vastly superior version than summoning a single Manticore, as far as I can tell. I like it. Alrighty, out here we are still facing up against these Chaos Spawn of Khorne. They may be getting constantly obliterated in auto-resolves, but in combat it does actually take a little bit of time to bring them down, even if auto-resolve does hates them. Alright, second one will fall shortly as Arathond and his noble team up and bring it down. Okay, or not. Oh, actually, it's got a fair bit more. Alright, fine. Just keep whacking away at it for a little bit. Gotta be a little bit careful with our Eagle Claws here. And there we go. Yes. Kind of fell down then got back up, only to fall down again. I guess you are gonna bring it down. Now anyway, we are going to move the Eagles away and allow for our Eagle Claws to get a nice firing solution upon this blob of Dark Elves that are quickly approaching the choke point. Trolls and more Chaos Spawn have made their way forward, but the Trolls will rout shortly, and the Eagle Claws, I bet, are going to make, if not quick work, good work of all of these enemy infantry. It's a lot of infantry to take care of. We're going to pop a Flock of Doom right in the midst of them, even as the Eagle Claws rain down fire from above. Pretty much a perfect setup for the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers here. And that is just a ton of bolts coming in. How many does each individual fire? Does it say? Wait, I'm just curious. Multi-shot round, number of projectiles 20. Wait, is it 20 from a single bolt thrower? I think it's 20 from a single bolt thrower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2... actually doesn't look like 20 there. Well, it's kind of hard to say, but anyway, it's a lot is what I'm getting at. It's a lot in the air at the same time. I'm going to get that bound fiery convocation moving through the enemy army. They activate their murderous prowess due to losses taken, and are only about halfway to the rest of our forces. Eagle Claws are doing great work in this particular case, and we also got to remember that our Eagle Claws are pretty significantly powered up at this point due to veterancy and buffs. They're at 650 missile strength. I think their regular missile strength is at like 300 or something like that, so it's a pretty big difference after all of those buffs. I wonder to what height what heights we could take Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. Might put some in a few other ranged armies and see how they do with more buffs. Like with a Princess and a Sister of Avalorn. Or Sisters of Avalorn and a Handmaiden and Gate Guard as well. Anything that buffs range units, basically. Maybe even a War Drum. Well, either way, it looks like a unit of Cold One Knights made its way forward, but the infantry are very much suffering. In fact, quite a few of them have already routed. They attempt to make their way forward, but keep getting knocked down by that never-ending piercing bolt rain. There we go. It's really nice to see the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers shine for once, especially as in this particular army they are acting as our range units rather than archers. And it looks like all these Dark Elves will be joining these piles of corpses below. And by the looks of it, the Dark Elf army is pretty much done for. A Blackguard of Naggarond unit tries to move forth, but Silvern Guard and Arathon is still here. Ooh, and that's what I wanted to watch out for. A few of those piercing bolts hit our, or multi-shot bolts, whatever. Hit our own Silvern Guard. A little bit overzealous in their desire to hunt even more infantry down, or bolt more infantry down, but it looks like with that, the Dark Elven host will shatter, and the battle will be ours. Very, very nice. Eagles are pretty darn solid at dishing out damage, but they're also really shockingly good at chasing enemy units down. The combination of multiples of them, armor-piercing damage, and, well, some armor-piercing damage, I should say, and the bleed effect on attack allows them, and their massive speed, allows them to do tons and tons of damage and prevent most enemies from running away. Which means, with that heroic victory, Naggarond itself will fall. Alright, there we go. That was absolutely brutal, even with the defenders of Naggarond making use of a vanguard of Khornate units. The Silverin Talon just absolutely demolished them both. Plenty of kills on the Eagles, and it looks like out of all of them, we got roughly a tie between the Thorondor's pack and Talon Force 1 at around 20k damage. We got 25k damage on Arathon himself, with a 3,400 gold value, which is 3 times that of the Eagles, mostly due to him first attacking Valkia, then knocking out spawns of Khorne, then killing off the Death Hag, and then just focusing on Blackguard of Naggarond. The Noble got inflated damage numbers due to his use of the Ring of Cain, and 34k damage, 38k damage, 30k damage for once, and because of the choke point, the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers were able to shine and just once again absolutely demolish the Dark Elven host. We're going to take the ransom captives here because we don't really need to heal by the looks of it. And we'll be taking Naggarond for ourselves. Vilmar Chariot. Wait, do we actually want you on the chariot? And yes, defeated Valkia gives us melee attack +2 and a little bit more damage, which is great for Arathon, who's one of our very fighty lords. A little bit unfortunate that he started with strong-willed, but honestly, I mean, it feels appropriate, doesn't it? We're gonna get you Blade Master, sir, and then into Foe Seeker to speed you up, and then we'll speed you up further via the, well, speed of Asuryan. And then Expeditious Endeavor. I wonder what kind of speed we can get you to. You're still a lot slower than the Eagles are on the Griffin, but with those buffs you may be able to reach similar sorts of levels. We may even want to avoid additional speed on the Noble, because he's going to get himself up to like 200 or something. Get your Blade Shield, sir. At least for now. And you, I think, yes, I'd like you on the Steed rather than the Chariot, mostly to be able to reposition you. And let's get you Arcane Conduit. And Curse of Anra here is also decent, but we'll probably level up shortly again anyway. Alright, to Naggarond, auto-resolve it. The one unit of Cold One Spear Knights still remaining alive. Managed to kill off 2 Silvern Guard and lose their capital. And for a Giant Blade as well. Not bad. Alright, Raven Keeper. And what do we have here? Alright, so we have the Greater Grove, which... I mean, we do need additional handmaiden capacity, and it's the only way we can get it. We don't need the war hall here. We do need the Sawyer for the construction cost reduction, especially once we get to that occupied Tower of Malekith with the 100 Diplo and with the other Dark Elves. How does Malice feel about us, out of curiosity? Honestly, I think the only Dark Elf we're liable to actually become reasonably possibly friendly with would probably be Rakarth. At least I would imagine. Alright, where's Malice? Dark Elves should be up here somewhere. Hag Grief, relatively -518. Okay, maybe not. Blessed Dread are -328, but we're going to be allied with all the Cathians. Yeah, say Rakarth is at 203, and it's actually rising a little bit. In fact, once we get into a war with Hexawaddle, who keeps betraying our agreements, just like the oath-breaking and dwarfs in the south of Karakadrin did. He may like us even more. Plus 100, plus whatever other bonuses we get as elves. Maybe possible. Prone Hillebron down to that one territory. We should probably knock her out so she doesn't build armies. Deadwood Sentinel's still alive, and somebody suggested them as an option. Shakara will probably die before we can do anything about her, and then Naggarond, obviously. Alright, well, either way. Man, I love the idea that what's it called? The other elven lords that mocked Erathon's title as the Eagle Prince of Caledor, just being told that, oh yeah, so the Eagle Prince has kind of taken Naggarond and basically wiped the Dark Elves out. And definitely a silence in the room kind of moment. But anyway, Belharathoi, I would like you to go into, I don't know, Noble Prestige. Kill off this little army. Try not to take too much damage. Oh, this will take us too far, but whatever. Auto-resolve. And a little bit of damage. We could probably enter and camp and then heal here, eh? Yeah, fine. Ransom captives. More money. You can't reach these guys right now, and you wouldn't be able to reach Temple of Cain this turn. Nobody's moving towards it to occupied right now. We could also even do it with just like a separate lord, rather than have these guys do it, or send Belharathoi back around. I don't know, is the 500, is the 3,000 or so gold that we'd save, and that worth it? Probably not. Anyway, enemy killed in battle, Moondragon for Belharathoi. Yeah, you can, I think, stay on the Moondragon. It's kind of necessary in this particular army. Actually, speaking of Belharathoi, you have the Dwellers below now. Since you have the Moondragon, you're going to need to be able to regrow yourself, since you're probably going to be taking quite a lot of damage. Let's in camp, heal up, and then hit Ratto Gorge next turn once it's at tier 4. Next up, Noble. You have this stuff. Let's get your replenished troops and buff that up further to make sure that the army is maxed out. Lovely. Alright, Imrik and Co. Just wait. I'm working on it. Alright, now, what about these guys? So one issue with this is that until now... go into Lilith's Blessing to max out your stuff. I won't be able to hit Akendorf this turn. I was really banking on these guys attacking each other, but look at this. Cazador Dragonsire is just sitting in Akendorf and ignoring the fact that there's a besieging Orky army right here outside of Varenka Hills. I don't know what's up with him. But I do know that we can't reach him in one turn. Meaning, we have to ask ourselves whether we should attack him this turn. Fern Harvest is in range, and would be able to take Black Iron Mine and then swiftly move down through Karak Azul to Sump Pit. Imrik can reach Karak 8 Peaks by the looks of it, meaning if we take out Thorgrim here with Arwenil, and we can move into Karak 8 Peaks. And I don't think we care about Thorgrim's defeat trait. It's a research trait, isn't it? I wish I remembered what else it does, but I don't. Oh! You're actually not able to reach Karak. Oh, alright, that means we'll attack them next turn then. We need to move a little bit closer. Alright, so, first things first. Imrath the Eternal and Shakalot the Calamity. We're going to pop them both into your army to guarantee the win here. Significant... yeah, this is significant cost, but it is what it is. Then we're going to pop you into Lilith's Blessing and get as close to Karak as possible. And we'll attack it next turn. Then we'll transfer them down to Imrik as we meet up maybe around Black Crag or something like that. Cazador, your days are numbered, one more turn by the looks of it. Thorgrim, we're probably going to fight you with Imrik in a second Fern Harvest. I guess you're going to stay here near Black Iron Mine. Like so. Arwanel, you're with Imrik, so we can ignore you for now. Architect Luaran, ah yes, we were moving you up to the Tower of Gorgoth. But first, let's build the very cheap Temple of Assyrian for our Phoenixes, both Fire for the Fire Army and Frost for the, well, Frost Army. You can also... I mean, we can ignore the Athilmar Smith. And we probably don't need the Library of Hoeth. We could go for another Blessed Growth for additional Handmaiden capacity, or get an Elven Court for more nobles. I think we need more nobles. Especially with the influencers having failed us, and just the fact that we need more of them. Plus, they have some good stuff, although we've also seen a lot of really good stuff on the Lore Masters, like Disciple, melee defense plus 10 for the accompanying Lord, and cooldown reduction for all spells. Pop that on a Teclis, and suddenly a Teclis has a lot of, well, even more cooldown. Man, I wonder what kind of cooldown we could get him if we stack a bunch of these in his army. I'm not sure that we'd have the capacity for a bunch of them, but... yeah. There's also a Phoenix one, which apparently was here before, but is no longer here, but oh well. I'm actually really tempted to get you for Teclis. He does need another one. Though the other option would to be for the... wait. Okay, we need to figure this out.
The Cadai are with us.
We need... okay, I remember you, Teclis. I remember you. Don't worry about it. We need this. Widely known. Not only gives charge bonus plus 10. It's nothing crazy. But it's the upkeep reduction for the Swords Masters that we really wanted, because they're really expensive. But anyway, we'll deal with that in a bit. Let's keep moving. I'd like to separate the battles and the non-battles out a little bit. You have built, so now you're going to move into the Tower of Gorgoth, which will be upgradable next turn, and thus we'll rebuild Lost Splendor there for it. How's Mount Silver Spear looking? 5 turns. I think we're better off moving southward and upgrading the stuff that will inevitably come up at the Fortress of Vorag, and possibly the stuff at Pigbarter, depending on if we have free cash or remaining after the end turn or not. Because we probably will want to pop another expensive building. Iolair. What are you again? You're a noble. Alright, you were going to join Fadian's army. Because you have that lovely crushing trait. I think there was another noble with also crushing available. And you're kind of in the same situation where we have to pick between favored by Cain and favored by Isha. And I'm still not sure about it. Frankly, I just think that 10% is probably better than slightly increasing the power of a single unit. Especially a unit that isn't likely to get a massive amount of kills anyway. That's just my 2 cents, but for now, let's get you Word of Hoeth and Word of Loek, and then we'll figure it out after. Also, Phaedian, just in case these guys declare war on you, we're gonna get you dedicated to Kurnus, which gives you income from post-battle loot. Yeah, fine, okay, Phaedian will get post-battle loot, because then we can double up on it. And get even more money via fighting, which is appropriate for Imrik. And we don't have Flesh to Stone. Let's max out Speed of Assyrian, and then we'll get Flesh to Stone last. You're on your Great Eagle, but I think for this fight, perhaps we'll pop you on the Moondragon, but we'll do it right before the fight, since we don't want to waste a turn of gold. You, Influencer, try again.
Smash it to ruin.
Hey, a success for once, and you didn't even die. Alright, let's get you Secure Influence and keep leveling you, and we'll try to build more of these guys as we go. If we can catch another noble who's emollient, which I don't see any, I'll pay attention to it. Huh. I guess one annoying thing about the influence thing is that you can't mill through these guys. I mean, you can mill through the non-influence cost guys, but you can't mill through the influence cost guys because they cost influence, which is a shame, but what can you do? Alright, Thorgrim, time to die. Sorry, buddy. Arwanel, you're going to go into Noble Prestige, because now you have the Handmaiden to worry about as well. I assume that Noble Prestige character experience gain is... This is experience gain for all spellcasters. This just says character, so it might just be for the Archmage. Or for the Lord. I'm not sure. But anyway, you have Arcane on Forging and Fiery Convocation. Let's max out your spell work. I'll be 1 short of Great Arcane Conduit if we do the Absolute Control. Fine, we'll do Absolute Control after. Arcane on Forging will go for Earthing, Fiery Convocation, Greater Arcane Conduit. And I still haven't decided. Fire Army, should it be dedicated to Assyrian, or should it be dedicated to Adaoth? They're both fire gods, so it's kind of a difficult choice. But anyway, you replenish troops and max that out. Let's get your weapon master and I mean, she does do fire damage. I was wondering whether she belongs in this army, but probably does. Spearmaster 1 point isn't too bad. You probably shouldn't be in melee, generally speaking. I'm almost tempted to save up a bunch of points. You know what? Don't level any further. Save up a bunch of points. Imrik, do you need levels against Thorgrim? Somehow I doubt it. Alright, Thorgrim, you are at war with Queek and you're at war with the Bloody Hands. Well, you're now at war with something much, much worse. Wait. I actually had another thought. What if we take you, move you into March Stance, move you past Karak Azul? We might be able to threaten Sump Pit. I'm just a little bit worried about these guys grabbing their, taking the underway stance and going down to Desolation of Nagash, which can't defend itself. And we have to wait another turn on these guys anyway. So you could always take Karak Azul and then move back up to Black Iron Mine. It hardly matters. Anyway, Imrik, into Noble Prestige. We'll level your stuff up later. Arwen will take Thorgrim out. Wait, did I not declare... Did I not declare war on you? Okay, apparently I didn't. Declare war. Kyle to help now. And he wasn't allied with Karakadrin. Alright. This is auto-resolvable. We have a Lion Standard and a Banner of Eternal Flame, which I guess you can have at least for now. And, well, actually not for now, but forever. Because we'll be using it on your Fire Army. Go. Alright, kill them indeed, straight to the point there, Arwenil, thank you. You've still got a few seconds until Imrik arrives on the field, but I'd wager that the enemy army has little to no chance here. Thorgrim's actually decently leveled at level 21. His stats are pretty solid at melee attack 70, melee defense 105. That said, I just have a feeling that he stands no chance against Imrik. And we're gonna start it off as usual with that Star Dragon Breath, where he just sits there. He just sits there, and while it looked like it took did little damage, that was about 30% of his HP. And down comes Imrik and Meneathnir as well, touching down. Gonna activate our abilities, the Star Lance and the Lord of Dragons. And it looks like Thorgrim is down to half HP with that first hit. And down to 40% with his second, and a few more hits, I'm sure. And Imrik will clear out the enemy lord. And, oh, one more hit by the looks of it. I look away for a second, and Thorgrim's almost dead. That's a big old target, isn't it? And down he goes, crushed beneath the bulk of Meneathnir. In the meantime, our dragons are chasing the enemy around, or chasing the enemy Grudge Settler unit around. Certainly don't want that Trollhammer unit firing. We got two flame storms going at the same time, while the left flank gets obliterated by the Dragon Princes. Piercing bolts of burning come down from the sky. Another piercing bolts of burning bound to Imrik, and absolute fiery havoc among the ranks of the dwarves. And chain lightning as well, just all vortexes all the time. A second fiery convocation. And yeah, this poor dwarven army. This is horrific. They have absolutely no chance here. The bounce power shifts to about 90% in our favor, and though a few of the enemy are still attempting to hold against the Dragon Princes, the real Dragon Princes arrived as Imrik has joined the battle to lead the cavalry against the remnants of the enemy melee infantry. Gonna get a few more dragon breaths out from the dragons who have managed to send those troll hammers routing. And it looks like the enemy should shatter in a few seconds, I'd wager. There is a couple of unbreakable units, namely the Dragonback Slayers, to obliterate still. But man, I mean, let's face it, the enemy really had no chance to rebuild after their holds fell to Wurzag and to some degree, to Skarsnik. And they were never going to rebuild anyway. especially after losing the Silver Road. Anyway, with that, it looks like the main stack will rout on out of there a real quick battle, especially after Imrik arrived on the field. We're going to allow the rest of our dragons and our dragon princes to enjoy collecting beards for their cloaks, but otherwise just going to have Imrik, as he sort of took it a little bit personally, knock out those Dragonback Slayers himself. There we go, nice tail whack from Anathnear there. The Dragonback Slayers are down to maybe 15% of their HP and 8 units. And probably 1 or 2 go down with every hit from Anathnear. Alrighty, Dragonback Slayers. Poor choice of name when you have Imrik to contend with, I think. And I do believe with that there, oh well, they still have 6 units remaining, 300 HP, and you know what? Imrik doesn't even deign to look upon them, as the last of the units will actually get burned down by Michaela and drown in dragon fire, as Imrik moves away and allows them to die. And there we go. And this guy is he gonna live with 1 HP, or is he just gonna die? Nope, he's just going to die. He might have been hit by the dragon fire, or was in the midst of a death blow, and that's what allowed him to get an extra second. And there we go. Beautiful victory in Karazakarek. Well, will be no more very shortly. Alrighty, there we go, and so falls Thorgrim Grudgebear. He does have 1 settlement remaining, but I doubt that he will return. Also, that was a glorious mix of spellwork and dragonfire. Arwenel using her items to cast the Fiery Convocation, as well as her own Fiery Convocation, plus that Gem of Sunfire for the Flamestorm, plus what Michaela was getting up to, Dragon Breath, was all great. And poor Thorgrim got absolutely obliterated by Imrik. He had no chance whatsoever. I wonder how arrogant about this whole thing Imrik would probably be, just standing over Thorgrim going, "To your credit, you were right. There'll be no alliance with elves, you cave-dwelling little mongrel. I don't think I'm physically capable of stooping so low. How does that reckoning of yours taste?" Anyway, about the same as your beer, I'd wager. Oh, gotta add insult to injury. Alright, occupy the place. And Power Stone. Another Trickster's Pendant. These I don't really care for. The miscast chance reduction. I mean, sure, it was fine against Kairos, but otherwise, we'll probably turn them into better item. Ooh, Beard Weaver. Yes, these are great. Gotta weave those beards into something actually useful, i.e. to help our influencers actually not die. Michaela, you got one as well. And a Great Eagle for Herathel. Who the heck is Herathel? I don't know who Herathel is. A noble somewhere. Inattentive noble. Oh, you're this guy. Yeah, you can do the eagle rather than the chariot, why not? And be a little bit of an extra power-up for this particular army. And yeah, defeated Thorgrim Grudgebear gives us construction cost reduction and a research rate. The hero self-defense chance actually isn't horrible, but Imrik is running low on room for traits. He's got a lot, especially because I think that the dragon defeat traits actually count as actual traits, so we don't want to miss out on good ones by getting unnecessary ones, so makes sense to me. You move to Carricate Peaks, and Armin will stay there. This should be the last territory of Clan Moors as well. And close victory, Queeky is back, and looks like the game wants us to fight this rather than... It is unnecessary considering. Do they have defenses? They do have defenses, so it'll be a bugged battle as well, which is a bit of a shame. I'll think about it. What's there in terms of defenses? Not much. I mean, we could probably have the dragons obliterate the place fairly quick. One more duel between Imrik and Queek, I suppose. But anyway, probably not the most important thing, as Teclis has a more interesting fight available to him. Let's build a few buildings, though, as we've been busy with pretty much everything else. Once again, spread the stuff out. Also, diplomacy. I don't know if I checked you this turn. I clearly didn't, since Khemri is an option. Now, Khemri is not friends with the lizards, so I fear that we won't be able to be friends with them. Carcassonne, however, is friends with the other wood elves, and I think it's important to ally with them before they get obliterated by whatever's around them, as I think there's a decent likelihood that they will. Talzin, nearly ready for that trade agreement, and at 154, I think it's worth paying them for it. More trade, good for us. Khemri will ignore. Actually, Golden Order is nearly ready for a trade at last. 2.3k. It's a bit expensive, but I think probably worth our time. It'll pay for itself relatively quickly. We get a lot of money from trade. This is good. Visenland is good. Avalorn's still not ready for Confederation, but it is approaching. We get stronger, and our relationship climbs with all these guys. Just need to actually get some good use out of the court. And Karazakrak wants to peace out. If we could vassalize them, I would. Honestly, we could... Here's the problem. Dwarfs grow really slow. I mean, in SFO, everything grows slow, but dwarfs in particular grow really, really slow. If we take a look at Karakadrin, for example, it's turn 83. Grompeak is a tier 3, Karakadrin itself is a tier 2 still, and they're nowhere near to tier 4, so we can't get access to any of their interesting units, unfortunately. And while Karazakarak, I believe, was a tier 4 before it got taken by the, by whoever had it, it doesn't matter. I think it was Wurzag. Before Wurzag took it was at tier 4, so we could potentially have gotten some of their good units. I don't know what happened to Karakadrin. Maybe Karakadrin was destroyed by the Sylvania and then retaken, which explains why it would be a tier 2, where Grompeak is a tier 3. Especially considering they haven't built the pastures to increase their growth. But anyway, what I'm getting at is these guys serve no purpose, and thus will be destroyed, since we can't make use of their units right now. Anyway, Shattered Stone Isle, you are good, or Dragon Isles are good for now. Let's build some stuff up. You are good for now, Plain and Bones. Titan Peaks, yes to the Colonnade, always yes to the Colonnade. And I believe you can now switch to Growth or Public Order. I mean, we do want that to Quintex up to tier 5, but it's going to take a long time to do it. I'm going to say Public Order for at least a little bit. Get you up to max, because it'll give us growth anyway, and then fix you up right after. You are now good, actually, as this can't be upgraded and this can't be upgraded any further, meaning you can switch back to, I guess, growth. Dawn's Landing. Oh, right, the recruitment. Oh, we got one more guy coming in. Oh, it's annoying, but whatever. Dawn's Landing is fine. Oh. Actually, next turn we'll need to upgrade this to get you a couple of silver and guard and get the, those dudes, the gate guard in there as well. I should just name one of them those dudes, and damn. They're looking like they want Gundad. Okay, that's annoying. Morella. You are in. And you've got 10 points, so you do have points available. Can you hold back throughout the Unclean until we get a proper stack out here? You have fairly decent defenses. I guess the problem would be is if they just go over you. And we could do a little bit of global recruitment. Let's get you some high elven archers. They should be just fine on those walls against the rats. And we could get even more elven archers. Wish they weren't so costly. Well, for now, we'll hold back. Let's get you Apotheosis. Do we have enough points to get you Fiery Convocation is the question. Definitely Crackling Potency, because it's a free chain lightning. Shield of Sapphire. Tempest wouldn't be of no use whatsoever to us. Hand of Glory, I guess, okay on the walls. And I will get Soul Quench just because we have the option. Actually thinking we max out Hand of Glory, because once again, Soul Quench against the rats probably won't do anything. Let's get 2 points in Fiery Convocation, and I guess 1 point in Arcane Unforging. It doesn't do much damage, but actually you won't have enough mana to use it anyway. Inclined to say Earthing, then. We could do Inspiring Presence, but it won't help. Earthing. Now, what we could also do is give her some items that allow her to cast stuff, which will help deal with this problem. Frankly, Thrott's army, well, okay, his main stack looks like it mostly has skaven slaves. It's probably one of his starting stacks. This is a newer army by the looks of it, since it has Plague Claws and Storm Vermin, and a decently leveled Grey Seer as well. Also, are these guys actually just ignoring Karakadrin? And Karakadrin is going to be ignoring them to retake Kazadir-Kulaz? Okay. I see dwarves are once again not being particularly useful allies. Perhaps it was always fated not to work out, but oh well. Anyway, for now, let's keep dealing with what we gotta deal with. World's Edge Archway. Oh. You know what? Build a temporary watchtower, and I guess the colonnade as well. And I guess the estate. Which wasn't so expensive, but it is what it is. Anything here help with defenses? Control enemy hero success, chance campaign, movement range for armies, and chance of interception. I mean, I guess we could switch to Reaver Patrols for now. Go for it. Bleak Coast. Ooh, yes, we got lots of stuff here. And you still need Public Order, but after this upgrade, we should be able to do that. Upgrade the stupidly expensive harbor. Then get the wood, then get the colonnade for, you know, Public Order. And I guess we'll do this for another wood thing. Oh, I'm gonna miss Invocation of Assyrian. We got 15 turns. Yeah, it's gonna be ages. And then you're gonna switch back to Public Order. Tribute to the Phoenix King. I mean, we're generating some okay money here, despite it being a red territory, so... Yeah, ooh. Hello. Toranrock. Oh, I'm glad I looked over here. I wouldn't have noticed this guy. Ah, Sisters of Twilight. Are you at war with these guys? Can you declare war on them, please? Join war against Hamathane Frost is Sarl, so that's the Ecstatic Legions. Alright, how about the Ecstatic Legions? Yeah, no dice. Our allies, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder. These guys could go for Griffin Gate, which probably wouldn't survive this.
Denied.
I'm just wondering whether we should trade the gate to Avalorn, making Avalorn more likely to defend it. Oh, Avalorn's not at war with them. Huh. Avalorn.
What matters do you wish to lay before the Everqueen?
I feel like Elves should have an automatic thing where any enemy that lands on Ulthuan automatically gets a war declaration by all the Elven factions, and hey, you're actually willing to do this. Nice. I mean, granted, you're a little busy chasing around Nakari, but this could be helpful. Yeah, do this.
Yes.
But keep chasing Nakari around as well. Also try not to get vassalized by him, please. We'll have to think about Toranrock. Might have to get at least a lord in here. Okay, yeah, I know we're gonna have to get a lord in here. Do we have a lord that is not at level 1? We do not, unfortunately. Meaning, out of the level 1 lords, it's gonna have to be a metal lord because the metal lords have Searing Doom, which is useful. We're not going to waste influence on this, however. Spell resistance 10%? No. Construction cost? Yeah, let's do that. Or Unipet, it doesn't really matter. Let's get the construction cost one. Probably the least annoying one. Go here. And try to cast a few of those base Searing Dooms. 90-second cooldown, but... And the problem is going to be the Feral Manticores. We might even have to... Wait. How are you doing? You got 2 more turns on those Silverin Guard. You know what? We're going to get another Lord to get those up and running. You instead are going to move this way. Would it be no, it would be faster to move by ground than by sea, yeah. So move this way. These guys will probably besiege us unless they have a map. Oh, really? Feral Manticores give siege attacker? Really? Okay, that's interesting. I'm surprised by that because a lord on a frostworm does not give siege attacker, even though frostworms themselves do, but I'm just saying. Anyway. You, I suppose, could be used to recruit. We're actually I wasn't gonna get you in this location, and... Oh! Huh, may just get raised at level 3 here. Interesting. Our lords get raised at level 3. I have to use somebody to recruit, though. And we don't have our recruiter lord who is busy with the White Lions at the current time. Alright, temporarily, down to 9,000 from 16k. Get 2 more Silverin Guard for us. And then you can switch from Rally Citizen Militia, I guess, back to... Public Order's dropping again. Back to Banish Corruption. Almost tempted to uncollect the income here. It's not you know what? Uncollect it. It's not much A and B we can we can grow the place faster for our dragon building. Alright, that looks good to me for now, unless we want to give some items to these guys. Let's do Teclis's fight. There's probably still more buildings to do, but that was enough non-building stuff, or that was enough non-fighty stuff. For now, get your Wild Heart, and then into Life Leeching after. I doubt that you're going to run out of mana, so Wild Heart to recharge faster is probably the superior pick. You... And I guess we want to get into Greater Ruination, or Great Ruination of Magic, since we're going to be continuing to fight Tzeentch. So go for it, Earthing. And then the Mage of Life, who will still be our Steel Tech Specialist. One more level and it'll be good. Lovely. Rest of you look good to me, so fight this. And Pyrrhic Victory, we'll see about that. Well, we are damaged, but go.
For Ulf One!
Alrighty, here we go again. A fireball and some pink fires heading towards Teclis and the Arcane Phoenix. They dip, dive, dodge, whatever. Dip, duck, dodge, bleh. As they get out of most of the way. A little bit of damage on the Phoenixes, but frankly, it hardly matters, as we do have the... spam available to us for a regrowth. Anyway, we're gonna get a few vortexes down below us on the Chaos Knights and the Pink Horrors while we fight against the Doom Knights. Up above, a Fiery Convocation will move through the enemy ranks as well, and a decent bit of damage to the Chaos Knights and the Pink Horrors. Looks like one of the Pink Horrors will melt away immediately, and Teclis will begin his never-ending Flock of Doom spam. Between the upgraded or the overcast variant and the non-overcast variant, we almost have 100% uptime on the Flocks of Doom. It's pretty darn solid. If we get a little bit more cooldown reduction on Teclis, we'll be able to get Flocks of Doom going 100% of the time. Anyway, looks like the Doom Knights are going to take a while to bring down. We've seen this before when Teclis fought them in a different settlement. So we're just going to have to slowly but surely have the Phoenixes work their way through them. When we get a couple more Arcane Phoenixes in this army, it'll be a little bit easier to deal with the, well, let's say things like this, but not these guys in particular, as by then I expect that Tzeentch will be long gone. Another Chain Lightning comes down, fairly effective against the Pink Horrors, loose formation or not, and it looks like this one will also start melting away, or these two will start melting away rather shortly. And another good thing about Flock of Doom specifically against the forces of Tzeentch is that if you leave a Tzeentchian force alone, they will regenerate their barrier, but with the massive uptime on the Flock of Doom, we can essentially keep dropping those on any enemy units, and the damage units will not be able to recover their barrier, and will just keep taking tick damage like that. Enemy activates its army ability, the Firestorm there. It does clip and fairly decently damage one of our units of Illyrian Reaver Archers. I wasn't expecting it here, I was kind of expecting it on these guys, but, well, oh well. We could just get the Illyrian Reaver Archers off field. They're only in this army temporarily as well, so it hardly matters. Anyway, in the meantime, Teclis continues to work on the Doom Knights, and frankly, this might actually be doing a favor to us, as it's allowing us to isolate this unit and destroy it slowly, with it not really able to do all that much damage to us, plus the fact that we're healing due to the aura of the Omen of Hope, or the Omen of Asurian. At the very least, it's healing Teclis. Right? Wait, 6640. Huh. It should be healing. Heal per second, effect range, immunity to psychology, affects allies. Oh, I'm just going to assume that it is working. And all the while we fly above, we just keep on dropping spells on the enemy. They can do nothing whatsoever about this. There we go, another bound Fiery Convocation upon him, another Chain Lightning, and it looks like the Lord is standing right in the middle of it, but, well, it's not really threatening to a single entity. Not to worry, though. It will hardly matter. Let's get another one of those Phoenix Vortexes down upon the enemy. I don't know how much damage it'll do to the Chaos Knights, but it's all about, little bits of damage to everything here. Plus, that will absolutely obliterate those exalted pink horrors, which are basically gone. In the meantime, our Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower has actually knocked down the towers that the enemy was using to defend, and our archers have actually made their way forth to begin to pincushion whatever Chaos Knights remain, though heavily damaged they are. Alright, Bound Gehenna's Golden Hound's gonna come down. Teclis is a little bit trapped by Chaos Knights and Doom Knights, so we gotta clear those away. We're even gonna send in the Phoenix to try to clear them a little bit faster. Not that I think Teclis is super threatened by this anymore. I mean, he used to be back when we just got him, but now he's got 36% ward save, 30% physical, 85% spell resistance, plus various sources of healing. Nonetheless, if the enemy wants to blob up, we'll hit those Chaos Knights with Chain Lightning. Unfortunately, the Chain Lightning will move away, but more range units are arriving as well. The Lothern Sea Guards sent here, perhaps unnecessarily, as we don't really need their help. But they'll at least allow the enemy to capitulate a little bit faster. An enemy wizard is casting. Well, good luck to enemy wizard. Alrighty, and Teclis is still trapped by those Chaos Knights. Let's hope that the Lothern Seaguard can clear them out. Looks like they want to focus down this Cultist of Tzeentch first, who isn't even trying to attack Teclis. And the Forsaken as well. Maybe they're afraid of hitting the Phoenixes, because the Phoenixes are, I wouldn't say gigantic models, they're not like dragon-sized. They're actually not that, when their wings are furled, they're not actually that much bigger than a Chaos Knight. What I'm getting at is, archers, please pincushion these guys. There we go, much, much better. And like this, the enemy is going to be brought down rather quick. Granted, we don't have a lot of armor piercing on those arrows, but the sheer amount of them will make it so that we don't need them. Plus, with the enemy focused towards Teclis and the Omen of Asuryan, their shields weren't held up to fend off that missile fire. And there we go with the Chaos Knights finally freeing Teclis, or Teclis being free of the Chaos Knights. He can move towards that Herald of Tzeentch and begin to work on it and the apparently Sandgors that were held in reserve. Oh, it looks like the enemy cultist is running. Can you escape the arrow rain, however? I'm not so sure. And down below half HP, he's doing the dance, sort of zigzagging around a little bit. You can see that the AI does this, or has this behavior as well. It's not just the player. At least, depending on the time, when they're specifically trying to dodge shots. But once again, it's not going to be enough, as the cultist will at last be brought down. The bounce power shifts to 95% in our favor. The enemy Herald of Tzeentch begins to melt away due to army losses, and Teclis will carry the day once more. Alrighty, depending on whether the Lizardmen, Kroq-Gar's last defenders, are able to retake the Temple Avenue of Gold, it'll depend on that whether we see Kairos again, because I expect that he'll revive there rather than out here, as, well, his holdings in the Southern Chaos Wastes are pretty much done. With that, the battle ends, and another settlement falls to Teclis. Well done, sir. Alright, there we go. No problem whatsoever. 420 nice. Teclis probably could have taken this settlement by himself. I mean, frankly, there wasn't actually all that much in the way of defenders. It's just our army was so heavily damaged that the auto-resolve was willing to destroy it. And we killed in battle the Bane Shield. Missile block chance in area and armor plus 25. Huh. Not actually horrible for a supporty common item. I'll probably give that to somebody, rather than deleting it and turning it into something else. Now, I wonder how many territories these guys have. Ooh, wait, do we know? No, we still don't. Ghost of Pahwaks, that was the name of the faction. Still don't know them. Alright, wait. Are we able to trade the Fate Weaver's Kravastu? I really want to ally with Tic Tac before he gets angry and attacks us. Not worth much yet. That might change, though. We will build a militia camp here and 4 turns. Okay, those are going to take too long. Let's do an Elven Craftsman. Don't really want to spend gold on this, but hopefully this will make the place worth more. We're not going to wait 4 turns. I'd rather just trade it to Tic Tac as well with the Lost Palace, as well as the Lost Palace. Though it's probably better to attack the Demon's Gate, then trade it to the Ghost of Pahwalks, and then move back this way. Our healing still leaves something to be desired. Frankly, it might be a good idea to get a noble into this army just while we're here. And temporarily, mind you, because, well... Hound isn't too bad. It would actually power up the Lothern Sea Guard. I would prefer handmaidens in the Sea Guard army. We could give the noble to a Sea Guard army, to the Sea Guard army. Although, do we want to waste 50 influence on that? Ammunition? Oh, we could do the ammunition one. Wait, practice does... Wait. Ah, no, practice costs 25, but it does power up Lothern Sea Guard as well. Anyway, let's do practice. It's a... I actually don't want to waste 25 influence. There are some really, really strong ones. Squishy -5, profligate, no. Pigeon-chested, probably no. Squishy is easy to counteract, though, if nothing else. Wish this didn't cost 50. What would be better for auto-resolve? 10 ammunition or... Well, even if this does work on the Lord, this wouldn't because the Sea Guard patrol armies won't have a Lord. That's great, let's just get practice. Hopefully that'll help with the auto-resolving the islands. And frankly, the Sea Guard armies are going to need the... they're going to need the ability to recover themselves, so, yeah. Alright, that looks good to me. Now, let's see what we have left this turn. We were in the middle of building buildings before I got very much distracted. You're good as you are. Lake Coast, we did switch you. Okay, good. Switch the commandments, I mean. And Broken Teeth, you are still recruiting, though I fear... Wait. You can get started on the line chariots. We're gonna need, like, 4 to 6 of them. Fair bit. And they are really expensive to recruit as well, but, well. Plus they take 2 turns. Oh man, there's gonna be like another minus 1,500 gold. Ugh, okay. We'll have to get back to being economic-minded for a little while until we get back up over 10k after a little bit. Or until we find materials at sea or something nice along those lines. That would be swell. Ruins and... You know what? To save the money, I think we'll wait until Architect Luaran comes down here to build this stuff up for a little bit cheaper. Should we go for the Elven Embassy here? This place will probably never generate a lot of money. The Elven Fairground will give us money, though, and construction cost reduction. What's our trade income right now? It's at 16k, so it's actually still lower than our main income. Pig Barter is also... Wait, I think it's technically not bordering Shattered Stone Base, so it wouldn't... It's bordering Black Fortress, and it's bordering Fortress of Vorag. If you're wondering why I'm looking at this, it's because of the income from all buildings plus 5% in adjacent provinces. You know, I am curious how much... Well, probably won't be that much money. It's the entirety of the adjacent provinces, though. Screw, just build the Elven's Embassy. Just do it. I'll think about the other thing. Anyway, Naggarond, I was busy with you. Sawyer, and I'm not so sure about the Greater Grow, but keep it for now in case we need some additional troops or eagles or whatever. You can upgrade your colonnade, and we're about to run out of money. And I guess get the Elven Gardens. Technically, you want the Archive, but until it can reach the next tier, it actually does absolutely nothing, so not much purpose to it. We could go for the Elven Gardens as well here. No, you know what, go for the Elven Craftsman. There's not going to be a lot of reductions here, and I think that's probably the way to do it. 1,400? Yeah, 4, fine, go for it. We need the growth, at least in that particular location. Asgal, yes to the gems, yes to the growth, yes to the plaza, and no to anything else, because we're out of money. I was hoping to spend 5k on another one of these things, including that post-battle loot. Despite the cost. But I think we're going to go for monthly festivals for the control. We still need control in a lot of provinces, and we'll still pick these things as we pick up cash. Alrighty, Queeky, I think it's time for you to die, sir. We'll do one more quick fight. Probably gonna speed through this. Woundmaker, Colossal Strike, which doesn't quite max Imrik out, but we're certainly getting there. We'll have enough room in his points to get Merchant Lord. We probably won't be able to get into Elven Scholar. But because his army is relatively limited in what it makes, or what we want in it, we might still be able to get Merchant Lord on him, which could be useful. Or will be useful. Want that on pretty much every single non-mage lord, because mages don't have the option. Anyway, max out Michaela. We'll still need spells here. We are the elite. Miscast base chance and cooldown reductions are fine, but let's prepare for the phoenixes and the fire army. So let's do this. Oh, further cooldown from spells. More burning heads, fun stuff. Alright, White Tower, and let's go into Warding of Akash, and then... Just taking a look at these, because we haven't teched all the way up here yet. Winds of Magic cost minus 6% for all spell zone armies in province. The fact that mages also buff up other mages kind of also makes me think that... Maybe it does warrant having a mage in Teclis's army, which I wasn't originally going to do, but probably not the mage that he has over there right now. Anyway, either way. Noble, you have 5 points for yourself as well. Esteemed Combatant is probably useless on you, simply because anybody would probably have to be insane to actually try and attack Imrik, let's face it. So we're not going to get any mileage out of it. Let's get your Blade Master. 61, 90. Yeah, with your melee defense that high, that's why it would be easy to go favored by Kane. But once again, still feel like we get more mileage out of the income from post-battle loot. And your armor is fine, your repositioning is fine. I guess let's get you Valor of the Ages. We're still going to make you out to be the most killy guy we can. Now, yes, so this has a garrison, defensive garrison, meaning we won't be able to do it cinematically, so we'll just do it a regular fight real quick. Oh, I didn't check if he has a Grey Seer of Ruin. And we do have the Natty Bubos, whatever they're called, Giselles, but it's the Howling Warp Gale that we're actually concerned about. Everything else is kind of irrelevant, especially as most of the army is Skaven slaves. And we've already attacked this location before. Did I attack this place here last time? Let's attack it here. I have a habit of attacking it from that particular location, like, every single battle, and I like to limit it, at least, to some degree. Anyway, you guys sit back here. Arrows are probably going to be firing on you, but whatever. And just make sure to protect the range units until we're ready to move through the gate. Noble, you can stick around. We can get the range units in here. Like so. Dragons, it'll be all you. Alright, and I think that's all we have to do. Go, start battle. And, ooh, Giselle's immediately firing. Oh, they're firing on Imrik, that's fine. The other dragons might be threatened by them, but Imrik, not so much. Alright, just moving forward, Imrik. And, yeah, fire on Imrik, that's okay. Alright, you guys, float over here. Actually, you wanna go after Queek? Let's touch the dragons down, have them kill the Natty Bubo guys. Let's also activate Starlance and Colossal Strike, and probably should have used Lord of Dragons or whatever. I don't go on the wall. Don't go on the wall. Queek, please. Stay right there, buddy. Oh, for the love of... We don't actually want him up there because we want Imrik to fight him. Okay, you go here. And we'll activate the buffs, and let's get our spells going immediately. Michaela, you know what to do. And a 1, and 2, like so. Doesn't really matter. Queek, nearly dead. Oh, hey, no, don't land, dude. Let's get some dragon breaths out. If you land, you can't be breathing. Alright, Michaela and the other dragons, I want you off the walls. Queek is routing, not dead, but routing. And is that a warlord or a chieftain? Yes, alright. Michaela getting a little bit hurt, but that's alright. Get a breath on the rat ogres. Probably kind of a waste, but whatever. Imrik, do you want to breathe, or do you want to attack? Yeah, just attack. None of this is really threatening to us, so it all really doesn't matter. Frankly, it should have all been auto-resolvable. You do a better breath on these guys. Screw the rat ogres. Alright, Imrik, kill Dragon Ogre, and get your ability. You guys are moving away. We should also go after the catapults. Let's send all the dragons after them, in fact. Did I get you? You still have everything on cooldown. Go after the dragons. Alright, Imrik, take care of these guys. You'll heal yourself up just fine. Frankly, Michaela could use a little bit of regeneration. I think I might actually get her the Seed of Rebirth item so that she has regen.
Prince Imrik.
Once again, I had originally envisioned this army to have a healer, but Michaela's fire army actually won't have a healer, so... Yeah, what is this? Warlock Engineer. Okay, just manually kill it. Don't even bother breathing on it. Alright, how are we doing over here? Looks good to me. Michaela, you want to buff everybody up with one of these, make them do more damage. We have another Burning Head available to us, but I think we'll wait until we have bigger blobs of enemies. You keep attacking this. Colossal Strike again. What's a cooldown on this? 90 seconds? Oh, not that long. Well, I mean, it's actually fairly long. And, oh, yes, the towers. Tower is, well, the single tower is attacking us. You know what? Let's send you and the noble out towards the gatehouse. Frankly, we don't actually care what happens to the archers either. I don't think we can send in the infantry, however, because they'll just get obliterated by a whatchamacallit. A warp bomb. Michaela, you really shouldn't be out here while the other dragons are cleaning up the easy stuff. Why are you fighting here? Don't fight them by yourself. Come on now. Alright, there we go. And these are Clan Rat Spears. Well, actually, you could probably handle the Clan Rat Spears. Alright. Imrik, keep on taking care of those units. I would like you... Lord of Dragons, we got a little bit of a while until we can get the Dragon Horn active again. Michaela, you ready for another spell? No, honestly, these guys aren't blobbed up enough for our purposes. You know what? All of you charge on through and go after those Plague Claws. Michaela, get a... one of these. Not really a threat to the dragons, and any enemy that runs into it will get obliterated anyway. Alright, Imrik, you have killed the enemy heroes. Go after the Storm Vermin now. And you know what? Actually, clear the wall. Get a breath going, then clear the wall. In fact, wait. Help like this. And lift off, please. And breathe on these Storm Vermin. The enemy does have a fair few of them. How are we looking through the gate? Looking pretty good. Alright, breath one, and then charge with the Knights. And you can now activate the Dragon Horn. Michaela and co, you've nearly killed off everybody here. Activate another buff for yourself, and I'd love to get another Burning Head going. Like so, through this line of rats. Well, it's always going to be a line of rats.
Eradicate them!
Alright, how you guys doing? Charge on through towards those Plague Monks as well. Anybody else in? Well, everybody else will probably be too fragile to take any hits from our units, so probably not. Alright, you guys are okay. Dragons are looking okay. Some rat ogres have made their way into the fray. But probably not for much longer. Michaela, you probably burninated a decent set of enemies.
Prince Imrik.
Imrik, still fighting those Storm Vermin, eh? I'd love for you to touch down, or at least buff up the other units with Stand Your Ground. We need these guys off the walls so the towers stop bloody well firing. And they still are. Alright, so Imrik, keep working on them. Keep working on them until they're good. Michaela and co, more enemies moving in. Well, as long as they keep blobbing up, that's just more targets for Michaela's fireworks. And another Clan Rat unit. I think we'll wait for it to get blobbed up a little bit more. I know I said I'd speed this up, but I'll speed it up in a bit. Maybe. I don't want to risk anybody getting too damaged here. Not that I expect them to, mind you, but who knows. Why risk it? Hey, Imrik, you're moving way too slowly. Touch down on these... Why are you so slow? 131 speed. Okay, I think he's having trouble dealing with these guys. Everybody... Did they just... Was that a warp bomb right there on the bridge, not near anybody? What the heck was that? Alrighty, any more rats to burninate here? Yeah, looking like it. Let's get a non-overcast variant of this. We could actually lift off and let them just burn. It's really a possibility, but frankly, once again, the dragons aren't super threatened by this. Also, more fire attacks. And... one of these as well. Alright, how's Imrik doing? Oh, you have your fire ability as well, but frankly, it looks like these guys are out. Let's move towards the Plague Monks. Imrik, you can maybe lift off and let the Dragon Princes deal with their own thing. Michaela, you are starting to take a little bit of damage as, once again... Let's help you out. Imrik. Alright, Michaela, I think you can lift off. We'll leave the dragons to fight. Oh, it's because she's fighting Storm Vermin. Okay. You guys move towards the Storm Vermin. Michaela, activate your defensive buff, Cascading Fire Cloak. And Dragon Princes, just run over the bridge and into anything else that you can find. Alright, we have Lord of Dragons up on the Storm Vermin now. Imrik touches down. What's here? Oh, the Natty Buboes are back. I thought I saw them firing. And with that, the battle's ours. Alright, easy enough. I once again made the same mistake of sending Michaela in, considering we didn't get her fighty items. She's still a mage at the end of the day. Even on a, well, relatively fragile sun dragon. But as we can see, the other dragons didn't really take damage, though we have to once again remember the fact that the AI does have a tendency to target the mages, so there is that to consider as well. Anyway, Queek is out. That was his last territory. Thorgrim's done. Queek is done. Naggarond has fallen. Pretty eventful episode, I would say. Kairos' capital is gone as well. A lot's achieved this time around. Alright, and we get a decent bit of cash for this. We will take the place for ourselves at tier 3? Tier 2. Alright, delete this, and delete the militia camp at Valleus Sorrow as well. And don't collect the income, and go immediately into Rebuild Lost Splendor. We'll certainly... Yeah, there we go. Clan Moor is destroyed. That's Objective 1. Objective 2 is the Bloody Hands, which are definitely on their way out. They'll probably get a few more stacks at us before long, but once we break the dwarfs here, which should happen over the next 2 or so turns, we should be able to break the Bloody Hands very quickly and then turn towards our third objective, the Exiles of Khorne. Just have to be careful about, well... whatever happened to the Empire and all of them moving south towards us. We also have to think about the sort of campaign goals here, but at the very least it'll be a while before that. As yet, we still have a lot of armies to try out and screw around with. And sending forces into the Empire and Bretonnia, by the looks of it, are going to be the order of the day for that. And oh, possibly Mastamundi as well. Ugh. Annoying, but anyway, more Imrik to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to Threshold. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.